With a heavy heart, we bid a final farewell to Dame Maggie Smith, the incredible actress who played Minerva McGonagall in the Harry Potter movies. She passed away early on Friday, September 27th, 2024, a date that also marks exactly 1 year since Sir Michael Gambon's passing in 2023. I wanted to make a video to pay tribute to Maggie Smith in her iconic role as Minerva McGonagall. We'll take a glimpse into her real life, a snapshot of who McGonagall was, and some behind-the-scenes moments of her in the Harry Potter films. Let's begin. Margaret Natalie Smith was born on December 28, 1934. She had two older brothers, twins, named Alistair and Ian. Her mother was Margaret Hutton Smith from Glasgow, and her father was Nathaniel Smith from Newcastle. Her parents had a beautiful love story that all started on a train from Glasgow to London. Around the age of 4, the Smith family moved to Oxford. Maggie Smith attended Oxford High School before leaving at the age of 16 to study acting at the Oxford Playhouse. When she was 17, her acting career began when she played Viola in The Twelfth Night at the Oxford Playhouse. At the Playhouse, she also starred in Cinderella, Rookery Book, Cakes and Ale, and The Government Inspector. In 1956, she made her Broadway debut at Ethel Barrymore Theatre in The New Faces of 56, and by the 1960s, she was a fixture in the Royal National Theatre. Smith would spread her wings and begin to act in TV series and movies, all while continuing to appear in plays. She would be credited with over 70 plays, nearly 30 TV credits, and over 60 films. During her career, she received over 150 nominations and won 58 awards, including 2 Academy Awards, 5 BAFTA Awards, 4 Emmys, 3 Golden Globe Awards, 5 Screen Actors Guild Awards, and a Tony. In 1967, Smith married fellow actor Robert Stevens. They had 2 children, Chris and Toby. The couple also appeared in 2 films together, The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie and Travels with My Aunt. However, the two called it quits, with Smith leaving in 1973, and their divorce was finalized in 1975. She would go on to marry playwright Alan Beverly Cross in June of 1975. The pair would remain married until Cross's passing in 1998. Smith is quoted as saying, "I'm remarkably fortunate. When you meet again someone you should have married in the first place, it's like a script. That kind of luck is too good to be true." In 1988, Smith was diagnosed with Graves' disease, an autoimmune disease that affects the thyroid. She would also endure extensive treatments, including radiotherapy and corrective eye surgery. It was reported that she spent an entire year in seclusion recovering from the treatments. This would not be the only health issue Smith had to face. In 2007, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. The news came during the filming process of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Despite her diagnosis and getting chemotherapy and radiation, she continued filming, and by 2009, she was declared cancer-free. Later in life, she also underwent hip surgery and developed glaucoma in one of her eyes. Maggie Smith has graced us with many projects in the entertainment film and has also participated in several charity works. She has helped us laugh, cry, love, and cheer. It's a somber day to say goodbye to such an extraordinary force of a woman, Dame Maggie Smith. Minerva McGonagall was born on October 4th to a Muggle father, Reverend Robert McGonagall, and a witch mother, Isabel Ross McGonagall. Signs of magic ability started with her earliest hours. Toys left on the shelf would be found in her cot. The family cat appeared to do her bidding before she could even talk, and her father's bagpipes would play on their own, which made infant Minerva giggle with joy. 2 more children would be born into the McGonagall family, Malcolm and Robert Jr. Both sons would also reveal magical abilities. One day before Minerva's 11th birthday, she would receive her Hogwarts acceptance letter. During her sorting ceremony, she gained attention by being a hat stall. After 5.5 minutes of debating between Ravenclaw and Gryffindor, the sorting hat placed her in Gryffindor. Minerva was a standout student, excelling in her studies, especially in Transfiguration. By the end of her education, she had top grades in her OWLs and NEWTs. She was both a prefect and a head girl, and was the winner of Transfiguration Today's Most Promising Newcomer Award. She also became a registered animagus and gifted Quidditch player for her house team. After graduating from Hogwarts, she would return home to her family for the summer before starting a new job at the Ministry of Magic. Over the summer, Minerva would fall head over heels for a muggle named Dougal McGregor. The two would even become engaged. However, their engagement didn't last. Minerva didn't want to live a life with her wand locked up and her ambitions placed aside. She saw how much her mother loved her father, but she also saw the sadness of her missing the freedom of being in a magical community. She would tell Dougal that she changed her mind and didn't want to get married, and 3 days later she would leave for London. While Minerva was initially excited for her new job, she quickly became unhappy there. Some of her coworkers held anti-Muggle views, which bothered her, as she was the daughter of a Muggle and fell for one too. However, she did have a fondness for her older boss, Elphinstone Urquhart. After 2 years at the ministry, Minerva needed a change and wrote a letter to Hogwarts asking if she might be considered for a teaching post. Within a few hours of her letter being sent, a reply would come offering a job in the Transfiguration Department under the head of the department, Albus Dumbledore. She would resign from the ministry and head to Hogwarts. She kept a good relationship with her former boss, Elphinstone, and he would visit her on holidays. He had fallen in love with Minerva and would propose to her in Madame Puddifoot's tea shop. Still having love for Dougal, she would turn him down. However, he never stopped loving her, and from time to time, he would ask her to marry him again. Years after beginning her career at Hogwarts, a wizarding war broke out. Minerva used her animagus ability to help in any way she could. She spent her nights as a cat spying for the ministry and bringing crucial information to Auras about the activities of Voldemort's Death Eaters. During the war, she lost her brother Robert, her two favorite students, James and Lily Potter, and her lost love, Dougal McGregor. A peace would fall over the wizarding community after it seemed like Voldemort was defeated. One day, while Minerva and Elphinstone were on a summertime stroll around the lake at Hogwarts, he would once again propose. This time, Minerva would say yes. The death of Dougal seemed to have freed her and allowed her to let love in again. The newlyweds would purchase a home together in Hogsmeade so that Minerva could be close to Hogwarts. By this time, Elphinstone was retired and no longer needed to travel much. The two had a very happy marriage. However, 3 years into this marriage, Elphinstone would die from a venomous tentacula bite. Unable to bear being alone in their cottage, Minerva would pack up her things and return to her old bedroom in Hogwarts Castle. With years of healing, Minerva and the wizarding community would be hit with another loss. Another wizarding war was on the rise. This time around, Minerva would not help the ministry, but would join the Order of the Phoenix. She helped protect Hogwarts and those she cared about. She was a fierce fighter and one of the last to duel with Voldemort before Harry had his final duel ending the war. Minerva would become the new headmistress of Hogwarts following the war, and Kingsley Shacklebolt, the new Minister for Magic, would award her the Order of Merlin First Class for her unwavering allegiance to the Order of the Phoenix. She would also be immortalized on a chocolate frog card.
Everyone absolutely amazed as you go in. Doors.
I remember walking into this great hall the first time and just not believing it. It was just so amazing. It's a magic place to be.
Close the doors.
It was fun. How was yours? Did you? Pretty early.
When you walk in, are you directly behind Rupert?
Was it your party or did you leave something?
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Was she signing off?
No. First somebody said that we weren't. Then someone
What am I going to do with you guys?
It wasn't a great siege, then all rush out.
Why do you keep taking your teeth out?
You wait.
The audience will never see it.
Something you'd like to say, dear?
Oh, there are several things I would like to say.
Blah, blah, blah. Disloyalty. Oh. Oh. Yes. I think of it. No, I'm not doing. But what I am saying Things at Hogwarts are far worse than I feared.
Stand by for rehearsal, everyone.
Your ball is first and foremost a dance. To dance is to let the body breathe. Inside every girl, a secret swan slumbers, longing to burst free and take flight.
Something may be about to burst out of Eloise Midgin, but I don't think it's a swan.
Inside every boy, a lordly lion prepared to pounce. Right. Put your right hand on my waist.
Where?
On my waist! Place your right hand on my waist.
Where?
My waist. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. This leg moves first. Right? Now move the leg. And this way. Now you will have to lead eventually. Understood? This leg. I've got the council people here. They've been here all day.
Minerva McGonagall and Dolores Umbridge are two very distinct characters who are very different.
Didn't even state a fight.
Okay. Action!
How many films take 10 years? That's what stands out. That you're with this character for longer than you are with any character ever. So that's the legacy.
To end this video, I would like to read some words spoken about Maggie Smith by those who have worked with her. Thank you for watching, and let's all put our wands up for the lovely Dame Maggie Smith. Rupert Grint. Heartbroken to hear about Maggie. She was so special, always hilarious and kind. I feel incredibly lucky to have shared a set with her, and particularly lucky to have shared a dance. I'll miss you, Maggie. Sending all my love to her family. Tom Felton. Deeply saddened to wake up to the news of Maggie's passing. There quite simply was no one like her. Thank you for looking after us from literally day one. Thank you for not getting me kicked off of set when I couldn't stop giggling during your transfiguration class. Thank you for showing us the way. Raise your wands. Emma Watson. When I was younger, I had no idea of Maggie's legend, the woman I was fortunate to share space with. It is only as I've become an adult that I've come to appreciate that I've shared the screen with a true definition of greatness. She was a real, honest, funny, and self-honoring. Maggie, there were a lot of male professionals, and by God, you held your own. Thank you for all of your kindness. I'll miss you. Daniel Radcliffe. She was a fierce intellect, a glorious sharp tongue, could intimidate and charm in the same instance, and was, as everyone will tell you, extremely funny. I will always consider myself extremely lucky to have been able to work with her and to spend time around her on set. The word legend is overused, but if it applies to anyone in our industry, then it applies to her. Thank you, Maggie. James Phelps. Very sad to hear the news today. It was an honor to have been on the same set as Dame Maggie Smith. On HP, she was always welcoming, funny, and also showed how to act, not just on set, but off too. My thoughts are with her family at this sad time. Bonnie Wright. Our dearly loved and revered head of Gryffindor House, you will be missed by the Harry Potter community. My favorite scene with Maggie was when we were all learning to dance for the Yule Ball. She embodied that perfect balance of sass and loving care that McGonagall has. She kept Gryffindors on their toes. My deepest condolences to Maggie's family at this time. Devin Murray. I'm saddened to hear the passing of the lady that is Maggie Smith. Maggie was the most intimidating person I've ever met, but once cracked, she was the kindest, most caring, and lovely lady I've ever met. I have so many fond memories with Maggie, from getting drunk while waiting for a fax in a hotel reception, to getting some of the best hugs and cuddles in the world, to even Maggie trying to keep a straight face while shooting a scene while a baboon continuously did something naughty I'm not going to say on YouTube as she speaks. We've shared so many great memories together that I will treasure. David Holmes. Dame Maggie Smith. What can you say about this magnificent actor and all the years she graced us with talent on the stage and in TV and film productions? I was fortunate to interact with her many years on the franchise. She was the utmost professional, not only to suffer fool, but also incredibly kind and patient, especially when working with the younger cast. I will never forget a certain scene filmed in Durham Cathedral, which had all of the kids and the crew in fits of giggle, but Dame Maggie didn't break. She held it together and ushered in a level of professionalism that required to get the scene completed despite the distractions that were going on at the time. A career that spans decades working on stage with legends such as Laurence Olivier and on screen with some of the best directors in the history of cinema. Dame Maggie Smith joins a list of unbelievable talent that are unfortunately not with us anymore, and I feel an enormous sense of gratitude to have had the opportunity to work alongside her and everyone else who is currently gracing the halls of Hogwarts in heaven. Rest in peace, Maggie Smith. You'll be very missed.